was trying something new from my desk instead of the race shop, and so I see on my live screen here that we got a few viewers. So we'll let this fuel up. I was going to just quickly go over our trip to Sheridan Speedway. And I see my comments are up, maybe, if I'm looking at this correctly. So, yeah, looks like some people are joining. Hey, Sievert and Charlie, Ray, Al. That was, by the way, folks, check out Charlie on TikTok. Ray Howell posted up a video or some TikToks that are pretty cool that you might want to check out. Hey, Colin. What's up? So anyway, if you go to Sheridan, Wyoming, it's a long trip there. So I'll just recap that. So we weren't sure what we were doing, and then as tracks started canceling Friday, we on Saturday we were the tentative plan was to go to or head west, and we had the gears in the car for the Speedway in Box Elder, which would also work in a pinch at Sheridan Speedway, because we weren't sure if we're going to go to Bandit Speedway and then Sheridan. But once we got the all clear, Sheridan is racing, we boogied over there and got in there. And the only thing eventful is we thought we would plan ahead, because sometimes if you get a hotel room after you race, the smaller hotels anyway, it tends to be hard to find the night clerk. And so we cruised in to the old Microtel and got a room, and which is good that we did, because I'll talk after the race anyway. So as we got the room, and then we headed to the track, and it was our first voyage in the new race trailer. And going down the hill here, I see our Kenny spots our step. We knocked off the step for the trailer, the side door trailer, rounding the corner apparently. So we threw that in the bed of the pickup and boogied to the track, and drove in there. And it's kind of it's behind the landfill. It reminded me of if you've ever been to the Big Island in Kona, Hawaii. They have a dirt track there, and it's like 5 miles behind the dump, but this is kind of behind the landfill. Anyway, you cruise in this landfill, and then you kind of drive down in a circle into the track. So it's kind of really cool. People park on the edges and watch the races from their vehicle or tailgate, et cetera, et cetera. So we drove down, we drew 72, I think, out of 100, which put us starting in the back. And we raced, and it was a good race. It was kind of a hammer down track, and we passed our way to the front. And I think there might have been one caution, or it might have been caution free. I can't really remember, but it was eventful that we won, but uneventful in that we anyway, it was a fun track to race. And right on the last corner, coming out of 4, the power steering went out, and so makes it really hard to steer. So anyway, so then we weren't really sure what happened. I kind of heard a pop, believe it or not, and then I didn't have any power steering, and so we whipped her in there after we went over the scales, and power steering pump wasn't working. And so then we got one from Dan Wheeler. He was nice enough to hook us up, and we snapped off the little ear on it, installing it. And so then a couple other people, ultimately we missed the feature. So that was kind of a buzzkill, because I think we had a car. And then the next day we had Wheelers borrowed one that we snapped the ear off of, and Byron, a gentleman from down there, hooked us up with one, and we took those two, and Kenny patched them together into one that would fit the car, and we put that on. and it was probably for an open motor, so the steering was still a little bit sticky. We drew. Oh, by the way, going back to the hotel room. So we go back to the hotel room after the races, and it's like, it's just weird. There's nobody at the front desk. I can't find any bottled water, and I think the front desk clerk might have been in the first room having a party, because there's a really loud first room right kind of by the door. But anyway, didn't see the night clerk, so it's a good thing that we'd gotten our room earlier, because otherwise we might have been sleeping in the pickup. Anyway, the things that happen at a hotel when you're the night auditor. Anyway, so that Kenny got that patch together where it would work, and we drew 2, so we started on pole, and we raced, and we won that race, which was cool. So on the WISSOTA front, we have 100% win rate, because wouldn't you know it, after the heats were in, it started raining, and then they'd asked the drivers if we wanted to race, go out there and pack, and of course I took the bait like a good B-mod sucker, and we went out there and packed, but it just turned into, it was too much rain. And so then we loaded up, and we're in the center. Now realize you've got to drive out of the track, and it's all dirt roads to get out of the track. And so we had to, there was, haulers and stuff that couldn't get out of the center because it was too muddy. So anyway, with the old Chevy Duramax and trailer behind, we hit her pretty hard, and I damn near ran into the wall exiting the track, but we didn't. Thank goodness. Because, yeah, just... anyway, so... a little off topic, but nonetheless, hey, I'm behind on the comments. Sorry to hear you got an fender bender, Colin, but it would have been disappointed if I'd already, ran into a concrete wall leaving a racetrack with the new race trailer. So Sheridan was the first night, it was really fast, hammer down. It kind of got a little bit of rough, and then the second night it was dry. It was kind of a dry, slick, kind of a little bit sandy heat. I think they're kind of keeping it drier because they're thinking that there's going to be rain at 10, but obviously the weather forecaster was wrong, because the rain came about 7:38 maybe. Well, I'm glad I got your name right, Sievert. So anyway, yeah, Sheridan was fun. I would go back. They rescheduled the makeup feature for May 9th, which and then they have their regular races, which I thought about going back, but it is Mother's Day, so I don't quite know what we're going to do there. But we have 100% WISSOTA sanctioned win rate this season. 2 heat races under our belt with wins and no features. So anyway, whatever. On the trip back, it was raining cats and dogs going through the mountains. And of course, I'm a Great Plains traveler. So we made it to Miles City last night, and then drove the rest of the way today. And so I'm behind on everything. And so we got to the race shop and came home, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I'm doing this here rather than at the race shop. I did post up, I get a lot of questions on how we hang the lift on our trailer door. I did do a TikTok on it, on how we attach the TP Fab lift, car lift, to the back of our tailgate. We just kind of chain it on there with quick clips, and then use semi hood straps that you would strap a semi to hold the bottom, and then we rock and roll with that. Yes, I'm hoping to get to Kansas City, to Lakeside Speedway at the end of the year for the Grant Youngins Memorial Race. I'm assuming they're having that, but I haven't looked at the schedule. And yes, Robert, yes. Yeah, if it rains there, being in the center can. I think like it was pretty much kind of like if you couldn't get out, you're just gonna have to wait till it stopped raining. So it's probably a good thing that we're able to get out of there because otherwise we might still be there. And this coming weekend, I think the tentative plan was to do the doubleheader in Fergus Falls, but this time of year where it's April, you never know where the weather might take us, so we might go to Devil's Lake for their opener, or we might go to, but the tentative plan is to do Fergus Falls doubleheader, and we might, if we have stamina in the tank, try the newly reopened Speedway in Sauk Center, which I'm not quite sure the name of it, but it's the Sunday night track there in central Minnesota. But we'll see if we have any. What kind of snack do I have behind me? I have, there's peanuts there, and then I've got M&Ms and whatever. It's Easter candy still, so I'm still depleting the Easter candy. Well, thank you, Jared, on the heat race Saturday. It was fun when you get to pass cars, and the tin on the race cars all straight. And yes, and some people actually, to get out of the pits after it rained there, detached their trailer and left that way. I assume they're going to come back and get their trailer. And I want to shout out Byron, who hooked us up with the second power steering pump that we retrofitted to work because it was an older one, so the mounting didn't work out quite right, but we were able to do some stuff and get it to work, and I'm going to ship that back to him because I didn't get it back to him. And then, yeah, that's the tentative plan. I think we're going to try to, this week at the race shop, we're going to try to get I have a generator to go in the race trailer that we're going to try to install in some other stuff that we did there, and hope to, yeah, I got to get all I didn't have any mud on the car until I got suckered into pack and track when it was raining, and so that made it kind of muddy. Along with having 4 inches of mud on my shoes. But it was fun being a little bit taller. I think probably by the time we got into the truck, I'm about 5'9.5" or so, and shrinking as I age, but I was probably about 6'2" by the time we got into the pickup and left the track. So Sauk Center, yeah. What is the Sauk Center track called? Is it Sauk Center Speedway? I-94 Speedway's in Fergus. Well, I can't remember the name, but I gotta look it up. If I was thinking they're racing, but they may not be. So I have to look it up on the Wosota tracks or whatever. And then the weekend after that, who knows where we'll go. I guess that's Mother's Day's weekend, so we'll see. Anyway, I don't have much more to report on our weekend racing adventures, but we do have a 100% Wosota win rate, first time ever, probably last time ever, and absolutely no Wosota points because you don't get any points if you don't race the feature. So that's racing, and thanks for tuning in.